We good? All right, yo, what's going on? Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate you clicking on the video, and hopefully this will be something that can help you out. Um, I just want to speak my mind. I don't really have a structure, an agenda, or a script, or anything. Um, I just have a lot of things on my chest that I need to get off, and what better way to do it than like I I know that there's probably a whole lot of other different ways that this could have been done, but I know I know that I have a lot of stuff going on under this hat inside of this brain of mine that and we'll get into it too about why the different avenues that I could have taken to do this could have been done that way, but this is probably the only way that I'll probably be able to do this. And so, I don't want to bore you with all of that until we get into the body and the meat of the video. But thank you for coming in and kicking it. Y'all are literally in my living room. I have don't like a team or anything like that. It's just my wife, who is now also my producer, and our two dogs. We have a King Corso and a Shepsky. The Shepsky's name is Jair, and the big old King Corso's name is Bishop. So you'll see them walking around and stuff like that. So you stuck with it's you, us, and the dogs, and I hope you don't mind that. So without further ado, get comfortable, relax, sit back. Mi casa es su casa, and yeah, let's do this, man. Um, yeah, I got a lot of things on my mind that I really wanted to speak about today, and the reason why I'm not able to do it in any other avenues currently as of yet, like speaking and going to different places and trying to communicate and network with people to get some things going, is because I'm legally blind. Um, for those of you who don't know, type 2 diabetes doesn't affect just like the extremities, like fingers or toes or things like that, the legs and things. It also affects the eyes. And so I actually am looking at you, but I really can't see where this camera is at right now. I can only explain it like trying to look through paper mache. I don't know if you guys have ever messed with paper mache before, but it's like looking through there. You can kind of see light, you can kind of see things, but it's like super duper blurry, kind of like in a dreamy state. If you ever seen those videos or those movies where it's like a really dark scene and it's foggy or whatever, but you can still see the street light. But it looks like it's glowing type of thing. That's how I see all the time. So, um, I YouTube is the avenue that is easiest because I mean you don't need much to start off with, and I've been blessed to be able to have some equipment from the church that I attend and that I'm in leadership in, and so I've been blessed to be able to use some of the equipment that they have to help me out push this thing. Um, this is my very first video for this platform, and I'm happy that it's available and in use to be able to get off what's on my chest. So let's get to that, man. Let's stop messing around. Um, you know, there's like in life when we don't necessarily know why it's around, and we don't understand why it's so difficult to get rid of. But like there's a daily struggle that we all go through in life. And I don't know if you've ever thought about it. Being legally blind, I haven't been working since 2023. So I've really had a lot of time to think about things and kind of reflect over my life. And it was a very dark period in my life when all of this happened. We had just got married, and like literally like months after, I had to quit working. And so like a very dark period in my life. So I've been sitting for it's about to be 3 years here pretty soon in February. I haven't been working or anything like that. And I've come to know, and I'm still learning about why there's such a struggle in life, and why it's hard to get rid of, and why some of us just kind of like whatever, we're the struggle will never go away. um and why some of us are fighting against it all the time, and why some of us win and why some of us lose, and why some of us get ahead, and why some of us fall backwards and never aren't ever able to get things going again. I am 35 years old now, and I've been working since I graduated high school, and that was in 2008. And so a really big chunk of my life I've been working. And one of the things that I was reflecting on as I'm working, there was always the daily struggle, getting up for work, clocking in, um, putting your best foot forward, paying the bills, coming back home, figuring things out, trying to make sure we got food, all of this stuff. I was living with my family at the time, and so it was a little bit easier to handle and divvy up or everything, but it was a lot of struggle. Um, and it wasn't until I stopped working that I have realized that the struggle isn't really going anywhere. I mean, even now, sitting for this long, it's just because I'm not working anymore, that doesn't mean that life has gotten easier. I don't do anything or anything like that. It's definitely gotten me to a place where I'm thinking about it more often. And I came to realize that the struggle is not really going anywhere, because there's it's become like we don't know it, but it's become part of our life. It's just like the best friend that you've had since you were in elementary school. I mean, it's just part of your life. And you know how friends grow apart. If we go our separate ways, someone might go off to a college in a different state. Some of your friends get married and go off and do their own thing, living their own life or stuff like that. But they're always part of your life, even though they're not there, even though you don't feel their presence. That friend is always part of your life. And that's what this struggle has become. It's become a friend to us. And like I mean, we don't know it. It's become something that we've just become accustomed to. Like, why do we go to five different grocery stores to get the cheapest? It's a struggle. There's a struggle, but like, does the struggle have to be that way for us? Does it have to be that friend that, even though it's not here, we don't see it, we don't feel it all the time, but the struggle is just part of our life? Why do we have to cut coupons? Why do we have to why do we have to continue putting ourselves in a situation we know that we probably are most likely going to have to crawl ourselves back out of there if we make it out. What is going on with, like, I don't know, parenthood and making money? There's such a big struggle that a lot of us don't really want to face, or even like um, want to know and understand. And it's something, we've never, at least for me, I've never thought of understanding what struggle is. And the more that we understand, the more we gain knowledge about what this struggle is, I think the better off that we will be able to combat against it, and then no longer have to deal with this type of struggle. There's actually good struggle, but for the most part, we deal with and have become accustomed to bad struggle. And so it's not a bad thing to struggle. It's only the context in which we're dealing with it. And I hope that makes some sense. Um, why is there such a struggle for our young ones, the ones who are coming up, the next generation, the newest generation? Why is it so hard for them to carry a conversation? Why has that become a struggle to talk to people and communicate and use words instead of emojis and acronyms and all these things? Why has it become a struggle to respect our elders? What is this struggle between, you know, the older generation and the newest generation and the generation that's coming after them and things like that? Why is there such a big struggle? Why is there a tug of war between which generation was the better generation? And I used to be in that same boat too. I'm a 90s baby, man. I was born May 24th, 1990. May 24th, 1990. And I was in the same boat. I got a younger sister who was born, I think it was 14 years from my youngest brother. And so, like, she was born in 2009. And so we would always, there was always that big thing there. And you know what? She actually had taught me a lot more than I was teaching her. That it just doesn't matter about this generation thing. What matters is that we are helping each other in trying to find good struggle. There's always going to be struggle, but I'd rather deal with good struggle now. I struggle with anger. I'm a pretty angry guy. I'm not even gonna front. My wife knows that very well. My family knows that very well. Um, I was actually I was talking to my wife about this yesterday. Now, no, guys, this has been on my mind for like 2 weeks, and I've been trying to start something on YouTube. I've been trying to do this. It starts, it stops. Something's going on, but there's just a lot that goes on that causes me. Whatever. We'll have to start over, this type of thing, right? And so I was talking to my wife about it yesterday, and I was venting. She was listening and really just being there for me. And I was telling her, I wonder if it'd be okay if I cuss on this channel, man. Because, guys, I'm not even gonna front with you, man. I got a sailor's mouth. Um, I don't know if she's shaking her head at me, but I can feel her shaking her head at me like, you better not. Um, and so, it's just such a big struggle for me is anger. And we I've always seen it in my family. I've always seen it, and I've always the solution for the anger is that's just how he is. That's how my dad was. That's how his dad was before his. And, they say the Samoans. I'm Polynesian, by the way, full Samoan, and they say that we have just our 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 blood boiling point. It doesn't take long for us to get there. Yeah, yeah. I mean, once we're angry, it's very it's very quick, and so it's been a really big bad struggle for me. Um, I'm a believing Christian. I believe in God. I believe Jesus is the Son of God. I believe that He died on the cross for our sins. But there's even a struggle in Christianity. Some of you guys think that we suckers or something like that. Um, some of you guys think that we just have it all together. Some of you guys think that we're the meanest people in the world. Some of you guys think that we're stupid, that we're idiots for believing in a God who would allow cancer and people to die and abortion and all this stuff and things like that. A lot of you guys really believe that we just don't struggle as Christians. And that's another major struggle as well for me. And I don't believe that there is you got to know, you got to live the life in order for you to be able to speak about that life. Right? I have always been infatuated with the gang banging life. I love I love the hood. I love gang bangers. I love gangsters, man. I love the whole life, everything about it, the whole style, everything. Um, but I can't really talk about that life because I never actually did the life. I hung around with a lot of people who did that life, but I can't really talk about that life because I ain't live it, right? And so, you know, there's just so much detail to all of this, and so I'm not holding it like a podcast. I don't think I'm gonna be really talking about stuff for like 2 hours or whatever. But I will say this: I just want to bring to a light something that isn't. I mean, it's talked about. Struggle is always talking about. You can find it all over the place on blogs and news articles and stuff online, YouTube, all of it. Everybody talks about struggle. I just don't. I don't think, like, my point of view. I think the perspective, maybe the things that I've gone through in my life, and I'm still going through right now, have caused me to just want to tell you about why it's not going away. Right? Even the richest person has struggles. Right? Some of the things, I think I heard it maybe a month ago or so. There's a pastor that I follow, and a lot of very rich people asking for his advice around peace and how they can live a life that's fulfilling. A lot of them don't feel fulfilled, and one of the scariest things for them is succession. And that's like, who's going to take over after I die? Are any of my kids going to take over? Will they extend the business, the family business, and take it and run with it? And so there's a lot of struggle everywhere, right? There's a lot of things that we've heard about struggle is good, embrace the struggle, be friends with the struggle, and learn from it and all these things. But like, why don't it go away? Why does it still linger and stick around? And I am slowly finding out that there will never be a time ever where the struggle will stop. Like, this channel isn't a Christian channel. I'm a Christian, and I'm wanting to help as many people as I can, whether you're a believer or unbeliever. And so this is what I'm starting to learn here about the struggle. Like I said earlier, there's a bad struggle, there's a good struggle. A bad struggle, the common theme with both of these things here is that they're never going to go away. Right? But there is a choice and a decision that we can make as far as dealing with the struggle and moving from one point of the bad struggle into a good struggle. Right? A bad struggle is something that we deal with each and every day. Maybe we've come accustomed to it. Maybe we don't want to deal with this type of struggle because it's too hard or difficult to whether it's about your past, family issues, your own personal issues, mental health, all of these things. There's a type of bad struggle that will keep you in a place and make you stagnant. Then there's a struggle that actually helps you become a certain person. It shapes you. It's actually happening for you and not to you, right? And this struggle allows you to continue on finding God, finding yourself, and moving forward. And I think there's a lot of us who believe that struggle will go away. It's not going away, y'all. It will never ever go away. And I I've always beat myself up for cussing and being angry and allowing it to take over and just not caring about nothing when I get angry, not caring about people's feelings, not having any emotional intelligence or anything like that. Just letting everything fly out the window. It's just me and anger, and we're about to set everything on fire, right? And so I'm starting to learn that there is such a thing called zeal and passion and a desire, a fire for something, and it's like it's like anger, but like a far distant cousin. All right, and so I'm starting to, anger is there, but I'm chilling with the cousin now. I'm here figuring out, okay, this there is something that is good. I have to maintain and control it, so that way I don't take a trip back to being angry. But for the most part, I'm doing my best. I'm not saying that it's like, ooh, less is there's no more anger in him or anything like that. But that struggle has led me to a place where I know that, okay, this is something that I can find myself using this anger, but not the way that I was not the way that I was doing it before. And now I can have a passion about something. I can have desire about something. That's why you can feel when people like these great speakers and things like that, like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Billy Graham and Reinhard Bunke and all of these guys, they have a zeal and a passion and a fire and a desire for what they believe in, and they speak about it. Now, are there issues around what they speak about that can make them angry? Yeah, of course. But they revert back to what they are studying now and really getting into that will help them move from a bad struggle into a good struggle. And all of these great men and women who speak and have motivational keynotes and speaking gigs and all of this stuff, man, all of them struggle. We all struggle. But in the what type of struggle are we willing to deal with? Will we continue to be in this bad struggle that will keep me stagnant? I don't know if you guys have ever like looked at rivers or anything. Why do you think rivers always flow? Why do they flow somewhere? Why does something flow into it and it just continues to go? The rain comes down and it's just waterfalls, all these great big rivers that you see flowing, right? That's how they maintain their freshness. That's how that ecosystem goes. There's a lot of things that flourish in these rushing rivers because of their current and their flow. A body of water that stays stagnant stinks. There's not a lot that goes on in that ecosystem. There's still things that can live in there, But compared to a fresh river ecosystem, there's a lot more benefit there than there is with a stagnant body of water. So will this bad struggle, are we willing to continue to be in this bad struggle? Inflation is big. I'm on EBT and food stamps. I'm going to welfare office. I got to get this thing pumping. We're just using our kids as a tax check. We have to grab this money. We have to make this a point to where like some people even wear this type of bad struggle like as an ornament and a chain. Like it's flashy. Like I'm part of the struggle and I'm happy. And I was part of that too. I was the same way. Right? Struggle meals. Right? At least for my guy, in the middle of it, bro. And like, have you ever thought about like the hearing of a dog? Like, what would it be to have the hearing of the dog? Because I don't hear anything, but he just pops up and just starts barking for no reason. I mean, that would suck to be able to just hear everything all the time, man. But yeah, anyway, like, and so just being happy and proud of being part of this. I mean, there's no benefit. There's no like, it's not really something where it's like something to be proud of. What we can be proud of, what we can hang our hat on is being part of the struggle, progressing into a struggle that is actually beneficial for us in our living for our lives. If we don't get this, the ones who are coming after us aren't going to be, it's not going to be an easy road. I mean, it's not an easy road, period. But to be able to deal with that type of stuff, because let's face it, our new generation, though they're very smart and they act very quickly and they really catch on to stuff really fast. The tool set that is needed for them to be able to do the hard things is not really there. And it's not their fault. It's actually our fault. And so if we don't move and progress into a better struggle that's actually going to help us and really shape us and mold us into what God is really wanting us to be, then there won't ever be any hope for the generation coming after us. And I hope this is making sense, man. Like, it's really been on my mind, only a lot of it because I'm also in that transition of moving into this good struggle now. And guys, let me tell you, man, it's a game changer. It's different. It really is different when we really start to know and understand about struggle or understand about anything. What I'm starting to learn is, like, for me, right, the kingdom of God is knowledge dependent. The more I know about God's kingdom and the king who is over this kingdom, the more I know about him, the more I'll understand him and know about what I'm going to do within this kingdom and help it advance it, right? It's the same thing if you're at work and things like that. For promotion, it's all knowledge dependent. I mean, a lot of it is, they always say about the what's the word for the person that's there for a long time? Tenure, the longest tenured person there, right? And that's amazing, right? To be at a place for a very long time, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're ready for promotion. See, a lot of it, let's get back to the bad struggle. That bad struggle is like that long tenured person at the job. Only thing that they're doing, I'm just clocking in, I'm going to do my 8, and I'm going to clock right back out. Nothing wrong with that. Right? But in a company, and I know there's a lot of people who just don't want to be promoted. Cool. Do you. That's what you want to do. Hopefully you find something that'll help you fulfill whatever it is. Because I know you're not fulfilled. I know. the longest tenured person there can be promoted with those years of experience and the growth in which they've gotten at that position. Right? Our bad struggle, we will be the one who clocks in, does the 8, and clocks back out. Now, like I said, it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, there has to be some type of growth and progression. There has to be, whether you like your job or not. It has to be. There has to be a progression. If you're, let's say, for any athletes that's listening right now, whether you're an older athlete or you're in Pop Warner in the little leagues or in a club or anything like that, you will be recognized at the current position that you're at, wherever you're trying to play in the field, by the amount of knowledge that you have. You can be physically gifted. You can have all the attributes that you need to perform well on the field, but the knowledge, the IQ of it is far greater than those physical traits. You know what I'm saying? Marriage, couples, relationships. It's all dependent on what you know and how you understand each other. The intimacy, the physical attraction and things like that, that's there, of course, man. You looking into each other's eyes, all googly eye and everything like that, bottom lip all quivering and stuff like that. You can't wait to be with her. You can't wait to see him. The butterflies all flying around y'all and all of that stuff, man. That's amazing. That's definitely part of a relationship. But if that's all it's going to be, there's a bad struggle there. Because now you're going to find out that there's a lot more that you should have done in that time there. And I'm not saying that there ain't no puppy love, the little honeymoon phase, that type of stuff. That's a part of it. It's an amazing thing. Also, along with that, there has to be something that supplements that, getting to know them. Like right off the bat, you don't have to get into some deep, dark, secret stuff. But you know what I mean? Like really start to get to know the personality, how they handle certain things, things that they like, things that they don't like, so that way you can now start to see if both of you guys are compatible for each other. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm trying to get to here. What I'm trying to talk to is about there's always going to be this struggle. Like in Christianity, we're mad at the folks that is looking at us all crazy and stupid and up and down, and they're mad at us for believing in what we believe in. That's not where the struggle is, though, guys. That's actually part of the reaping. That's part of the harvest there. The actual struggle is is really understanding and knowing who God is. That's the struggle. I can talk to somebody about my faith anytime, any part of the day. They can talk to me about their faith, whether they agree with me, who they believe in, all of that, right? But to talk to somebody, to build a relationship with someone who I don't see is a struggle. There's a bad struggle there too. Physically, if I believe in that physically, I'll never get anywhere. I have to have faith. Faith means that I'm seeing something that isn't there, but as if it is there. That's a struggle. You can't tell me as a Christian that you've never wavered in your faith before. If you haven't, you might you might not be Christian. I mean, even Abraham, he went right past the promised land. He got to Canaan and then went right past it. Went into Egypt. And then he tells his wife Sarai, and don't tell him that you my wife because you look too good. I mean, girl, you look good. Tell him you my sister, okay? Right? No faith, no belief in what's going on here. And God still saved his butt out of Egypt. There is a struggle. You can't tell me any different. But see, this is a bad struggle. Trying to deal with that, with like for me, trying to deal with my Christianity and really build up my faith, because I want to be into a place that nobody in my family has ever gone to. But I know that there is something that needs to be done that's never been done ever before. Right? There's a struggle. There's a struggle that is a good struggle in the faith. A bad struggle is taking it on physically. If you graduate from physical into the spiritual, you've moved from a bad struggle into a good struggle, because there's still struggle in the spiritual when we get really deep with God. There's a really good struggle there. But it's difficult at first. I've been at church my whole life. My mom's taken us for, ever. But I'm not going to say that that I believed in it, right? You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not going to say that I practiced it. I'm not going to say that I really took it to heart. Up until just recently, like I told you guys, I'm 35 years old. I didn't start really getting into this until I got sat down in 2023. And it's been a really big battle, a stronghold, a struggle to try to get rid of all the things that I used to do, try to really understand God more, try to sharpen myself, try to figure out why some days I want to read the Bible, why some days I just don't want to deal with God at all. Why is there such a struggle? Why is there something that's going on in my life when I wasn't serious with God, nothing really came up. But as I started to become serious with God, everything, all of it. Which brings up something else. This bad struggle comes with friends. So many things will pull you down back into this bad struggle. Why you wanna elevate for, man? We chilling right here, we kicking it. Why you wanna change all of a sudden? Come back over here, let's sit down, let's kick it, whoever the bad struggle and the friend, whatever those friends are to you. Tell me not, as you started to try and make a change and decide for yourself to be better and try to become something and accomplish something, achieve something, not even something on a grand scale. You just wanted to pass one class in high school. You wanted to take that mile run and actually get past the first quarter of it. You wanted to be a better mom. You wanted to finally learn how to flip that pizza dough like how they do it in the pizzerias and stuff like that. Because you're tired of your homemade pizzas coming out looking like a UFO. Something. Well, every time, even now with this video here, today, all this morning, what for? You didn't wait on God. You should wait on God. You should wait on God. And I know that. But like, who is really speaking to me right now? There's voices, there's things in my head that keep battling over and over and over. You know where this struggle is found at? The Bible says that the flesh will always war against the spirit. Not the flesh will only war with the spirit during New Year's. Not that the flesh will only war with the spirit when you have a lot of money. It will always. You know what that's called? A struggle. That's what that's called. And I'm tired, y'all. Yeah, I don't want to be. I was talking to my wife. I love being in the house. I love it. I'm a neat freak due to my dad. He's military. He's just, I mean, it's, the same way that he raised me, that's what I'm doing right now. I love cleaning. I love a clean house, even though both of our dogs stink. Our house is nice. It's, you know what I mean? We try to keep it as structured as possible. Right? I love it. I can do it with my eyes closed. It's easy for me. But like now I'm just kind of like, okay, I need something. There's got to be something. And I think that this is it. And let me know in the comments, man, if you've like ever been here before. You know what I mean? I'll tell you one thing, man. It sucks, dude. Being here. There's always something tugging you. I dare you to take just one step closer to there. Now watch. When you do, there it will come. What are you doing? What are you doing? They're gonna come knocking again. What are you doing, man? Hey, where you going? Whoever those friends are that you was in a bad struggle with, whatever those friends are, laziness, procrastination, video games, eating, women, men, flashy stuff, possessions, comfortability, stability, being afraid, fearfulness, intimidation, whatever those things are. Trust me, when you finally make that step, it happened right before we press record right now. My wife said, "Are you ready?" In my mind was like, I mean, shoot, we ain't ready. You ain't got no scripture. You ain't got no memory verse for them. You don't have a sermon ready. And see, that's where it all. I'm with God too long in my day for me not to have him guide me in what I'm going to be speaking about. I have to start believing in that. There's a reason I think why my eyes have been just blurred. I think he really wants me just spend time with me, and when I tell you that it's time to speak, I will do it for you. That's all. Because it's hard for me to read if I was to pull up the Bible app right now or anything, read you a sports article, read you a recipe from, what's homegirl's name, man? Rachel Ray. Read you something from Mr. Beast's new Beast Bars. When I can't read it that well. On the Bible app, thank God it's got the little voice thing. I just press play. But now I think it's starting to click. Spend time with me. Be a vessel. Understand and know who I am. Continue in that. It seems boring, less I know. But I am God, and I will help you out. I'm not sitting no more. At least not in this struggle. Now that I'm starting to see the progression into the good struggle, now I see. It's starting to click. That was a lot. Hopefully I didn't bombard you or like overwhelm you with all my and this is all in my brain, it's all in my head all the time. And I finally am like taking a step to getting it off my chest. And I don't want to take up y'all's whole day. And I told you it wasn't gonna be long. I'm pretty sure it's a little long, but yeah, we'll cut it. I hope that you guys have a really, really, really good day, week, month, rest of the year. Where I'm at, it's September, and so we got a few more months to the new year. I think we're gonna be on here for a little bit. I think I got a little bit more to say. Um, but yeah, it's all jumbled up. But I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And if you like this content, or if you know somebody else who likes this content, yeah, share the video. Do all of that, man. Like, subscribe, comment, and yeah. Until next time, see you guys later. Bye bye.